Hello students, today we are going to start the second topic of Maharashtra State Board and it is matrix or matrices. In 11th science already we learned this concept, and in 11th science we have seen some basic idea about matrices, and in 12th science we are going to consider actual applications of matrices. And to understand the concepts of 12th, initially we are going to consider some concepts from 11th and then we will go to the actual concepts of 12th. So chapter 2 is matrices. So let us start with a concept of definition of matrix and its construction. So initially we are going to repeat some concepts of 11 just for a review, and then we will go to the actual syllabus of 12th. Now see what is definition of matrix. We seen in 11 that a rectangular array or arrangement of mn numbers, they may be real numbers or complex numbers, in the form of m horizontal lines called as rows and n vertical lines called as columns. That is called as matrix of order m by n, and it is read as m by n but written as m into n. That's a speciality of matrix. With the example we get it clear. So consider a matrix that consisting of elements 3, -2, 5 in a first row, and second row contains 6, 9, 1. They are enclosed in a rectangular bracket, and here we will observe that this 3, -2, 5, that first horizontal line, that is R1, 6, 9, 1, that is second horizontal line, it is R2. Similarly, we will observe that here number of rows equal to 2, R1 and R2. Similarly, the first column, that is vertical line 3, 6, and it contains C1. Similarly, -2, 9, that gives you C2 second column, 5, 1, that gives you a third column, that is C3. Hence, there are 3 number of columns. Hence, A is a matrix of order 2 by 3. So this is the way of considering matrices. In general, a matrix representation is done like this. Capital A is a name of a matrix. It consisting of elements Aij and its order is m by n. Here I denotes the row number of the element and j denotes the column number of the element. And always remember that elements are always represented by small letters with 2 suffixes I and j. Here in general the elements of matrix are written like this. Here we will observe that A11, that is element in first row and first column, A12 element in first row second column, A13 element in first row third column, continuing in this way, A1n element in first row nth column. Similarly, A21 second row first column, A22 second row second column, A23 second row third column, continuing in this way, A2n, that is element in second row and nth column. Continuing in this way, you can consider mth row, that's consisting of elements am1, am2 up to amn. Here amn indicates the element in mth row and nth column. This is the way of considering matrix in a general form. Here we will say that its order is m by n. Then next we have to consider a simple example. A, that is 3, -2, 5, 6, 9, 1. So it is clear that this element is A11, this element is A12, this element is A13, this is A21, this is A22, this is A23. Hence, this is matrix of order 2 by 3, and therefore clearly A11 is equal to 3, A12 is equal to -2, A13 is equal to 5, A21 is equal to 6, A22 is equal to 9, and A23 is equal to 1. In this way you can consider representation of matrix with the general form. That is, every matrix is possible to co-op with general matrix. Now we are going to consider here the next concept, and that is types of matrices. Before considering types, we can consider a construction of matrix also. Suppose we considering here construct the 3 by 2 matrix whose elements Aij given by Aij equal to I minus j raised to 2 divided by 2. Now while considering Aij, the formula is I minus j bracket square upon 2. Therefore, if you considering I values as it is matrix of order 3 by 2, you will observe that I will take the values 1, 2, 3 and j will take the values 1 and 2 only, because there are only 2 columns in the matrix. Therefore, if you considering A11, then we will observe that 1 minus 1 bracket square upon 2, but 1 minus 1 is what? It is 0. So 0 square is 0. Therefore, we will get 0 by 2, that is 0. Similarly, A12, it is 1 minus 2 bracket square. So 1 minus 2 bracket square means minus 1 square, and we know that minus 1 square is 1. So therefore, minus 1 by 2, that is the answer is 1 by 2. In this way you will get the 1/2 element. Similarly, we can consider the other elements. Here the order of the matrix is Aij of order 3 by 2, and therefore we will observe that here A21, already previously 2 elements are seen by us. A21, that is nothing but 2 minus 1 bracket square upon 2, that is equal to 1 by 2 again. Then A22 is equal to 2 minus 2 upon 2 minus 2 bracket square upon 2. So 0 square, it is 0 by 2, that is 0. Then A31, that we have to consider as 3 minus 1 bracket square upon 2. 3 minus 1 bracket square is nothing but 2. So 2 square is 4, and 2 square is equal to 4 divided by this 2, that will give 4 by 2, that is the answer is 2. Then next we have to consider A32, it is element 3 minus 2 bracket square upon 2, it is 1 square, that is 1 by 2. In this way you can consider the remaining elements, and therefore matrix Aij consisting of, we have already seen previously 2 elements 0, 1 by 2 previously, and this element is A21. A21 is coming here 1 by 2. Then this element is A31, that's coming here 2. Then this element is A22, that's coming here, that is 0, and A32, that's coming here. So this way you can construct a matrix of order 3 by 2. Now we have to consider types of matrices. Depending on elements in a matrix and its size, we can consider some types. So let us start with first type. With the example we get it clear. Here matrix A consisting of elements 7, 3, 4. So is a matrix of order 1 by 3. Similarly, B is a matrix consisting of elements 2, 3, 7, 2. So it is also a matrix of order 1 by 4. So these are the matrices which contains only one row, but number of columns may be distinct. So such a matrix in which only one row is there, that is called as row matrix. So therefore a matrix having only one row, that is called as row matrix. So that's why we will observe that here it can have any number of columns. Here 3 or here 4 columns are there, but since it has only one row, therefore both A and B are row matrices. Is that clear? Next we have to consider another type, that is, with the example again we get it clear. Suppose this matrix contains 1, minus 7, minus 9. Now you will observe that this is matrix of order 3 by 1. So it has only one column, any number of rows, but any such a matrix which has only one column, that is called as column matrix, and it is also called as column vector, and it can contain any number of rows. So therefore this matrix A is containing only one column, therefore it is column matrix, and therefore its order is of something by one type. Then next type is rectangular matrix. In a matrix of order m by n, if number of rows not equal to number of columns, that is, this m is not equal to n. If m is not equal to n, then in that case it is called as a rectangular matrix. With the example we get it clear. Here we will observe that 140 or 375, this is matrix of order 2 by 3, or B is matrix 2 1 minus 5 3 0 6. Here number of rows equal to 3, number of rows equal to 2, number of columns equal to 3, 2 is not equal to 3, therefore it is rectangular matrix. Here number of rows 3, number of columns 2, therefore they are not equal, hence this is also a rectangular matrix. So these are rectangular matrices. Next, another type is zero matrix or null matrix. If you are considering a matrix which consisting of all entries zeros only, every element is 0, then that is called as zero matrix. It is denoted by O. For example, suppose this is zero matrix or null matrix of order 1 by 1, or you can consider 0 0 0 0 0 0. This is null matrix of order 2 by 3 because there are 2 rows and 3 columns. So this way you can consider null matrices. Then next type is square matrix. We have just seen rectangular matrix. Their number of rows not equals to number of columns, but here we will observe that n, that is number of rows, they are equal to number of columns. So such a matrix is called as square matrix of order n. So if number of columns equal to number of rows, it is a square matrix. If number of columns not equal to number of rows, it is rectangular matrix. So number of rows equal to number of columns, and with the example we get it clear. This is 1 2 3 4, it is a square matrix of order 2. Similarly 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, this is a square matrix of order 3. So whenever we have a square matrix, it is not necessary to say that it is a matrix of order n by n. It is sufficient to say that it is matrix of order n. It is matrix of order 2, it is matrix of order 3 because number of rows equal to number of columns. Then next we have to consider the concept of diagonal elements of a matrix and trace of a matrix. If you considering, suppose capital A is a matrix Aij of order m by n, means it is clear that we expecting here a square matrix, number of rows equal to number of columns. So it is a square matrix, then the elements for which I equal to j, they are called as diagonal elements of A. Thus the diagonal elements are nothing but A11, A22, A33, A44, A55, etc. This way you can consider diagonal elements. With the example we get it clear. A is equal to, suppose this matrix, other elements are given here, but you will observe that the 1th element is 2, the 2th element is 6, and 3rd element is -1. Hence these are diagonal elements 2, 6, -1. This way you can consider. Next we have to consider trace of a matrix. Sum of the diagonal elements. If you considering any matrix which is a square matrix, then we can have diagonal elements. Their summation is called as trace of a matrix and it is denoted by TR of A. For example, suppose you considering this matrix that is consisting of these diagonal elements 2, 6, -1, then in this case we can say that trace of A is equal to 2 plus 6 plus -1. So it is 8 minus 1, and that's why it is 7. This way you can consider trace of a matrix. Then next we have to consider, depending on the diagonal elements, we can have 3 types of matrices. So next again we are going to continue with trace of types of matrices. A diagonal matrix means a matrix in which Aij is equal to 0 for I not equal to j. That is, all the diagonal elements are only existing and non-diagonal elements are all 0 here. I not equal to j, they are called as non-diagonal elements, and I equal to j, they are called as diagonal elements. A11, A22, A33, they are called as diagonal elements. Elements except these are called as non-diagonal elements, that is I not equal to j. So square matrix means diagonal matrix is always a square matrix and its non-diagonal entries are zeros. With the example we get it clear. Suppose we considering the matrix 6 0 0 0 4 0 and 0 0 minus 2. In this matrix, we will observe that only diagonal entries are existing, other entries are all 0. These all are called as non-diagonal entries. So, all the non-diagonal entries are 0, only diagonal entries are existing. So, such a thing is called as diagonal matrix. It is always denoted by D generally. Then scalar matrix. It is a special type of diagonal matrix in which all diagonal entries are equal. With the example, we get it clear. Suppose we considering 5 0 0 5. We know that it is a scalar matrix of order 2. Then similarly, we can consider a matrix minus 2 0 0 0 minus 2 0 0 0 minus 2. So, we will observe that it is a diagonal matrix and both the diagonal entries are equal here. It is a diagonal matrix and all the 3 diagonal entries are equal here. So, therefore, it is a scalar matrix of order 3. This way you can consider a scalar matrix. And the next type is unit matrix or identity matrix. It is scalar matrix, means it is a square matrix, it is diagonal matrix and it is a scalar matrix in which all diagonal elements are equal and equal to 1. And a unit matrix of order n is usually denoted by In or I. Here we can consider example I1 is represented by a single element 1. It is matrix of order 1 by 1. So, identity matrix of order 1. Or you can consider I3, that is 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. So, you will observe that it is a diagonal matrix. It is also a scalar matrix because all diagonal entries are equal, and it is also containing all the diagonal entries as 1. Therefore, it is identity matrix. So, it is unit matrix or identity matrix of order 3. Then next type is that depends on the determinant of a matrix. Suppose we considering A is equal to 1 to 2 4. Then what is determinant of A? Determinant of 1 to 2 4, and it is equal to 4 minus 4, that is 0. So, such a matrix for which whenever we considering determinant equal to 0, that is called as singular matrix. So, singular matrix is what? A square matrix A is called as singular matrix if determinant of A is equal to 0. Now, consider another example. Suppose we considering 1 2 3 4. Then here we will observe that determinant of A is equal to determinant of 1 2 3 4, and that determinant is equal to 4 minus 6. It is minus 2, which is not equal to 0. Such a matrix is called as non-singular matrix. So, it is defined as a square matrix A is said to be non-singular if determinant of A not equal to 0. With the example, we get it more clear how to find singular or non-singularity in a matrix. Suppose we have given an example, find whether the matrix is singular or non-singular. And suppose the matrix is ABC, PQR, twice A minus P, twice B minus Q and twice C minus R. To find the answer, first you have to consider this matrix which is given here ABC, PQR and twice A minus P, twice B minus Q and twice C minus R. Then we have to consider its determinant. Now, it is clear that here it is not easily possible to find its determinant, but with the operations it is possible to consider. In 11th, we have seen what are the types of operations possible on determinants. So, consider R3 taken to R3 plus R2 minus R1. Now, if you considering here the element R3 plus R2 minus R1. So, here this position becomes twice A plus minus P plus P and minus A, isn't it? So, PP get cancelled and here you will get only A. So, the resultant matrix will be, the resultant determinant will be A, B, C, they are as it is, PQR they are as it, but the last row becomes A here, twice A minus A, it is A. Similarly, at second position twice B minus B you getting B, at third position twice C minus C you getting C. So, first and third row they are identical. We know that for a determinant, if any two rows are identical, then its value is 0. So, it is clear that its value is 0, therefore, it is singular matrix. Determinant of A is equal to 0, therefore, it is singular matrix. Next, we have to consider another type, that is triangular matrix. With the example, we get it clear. Suppose we are considering the matrix 1 2 3 0 4 2 and 0 0 2. Now, in this matrix, you will observe that all this is your main diagonal and all the elements below the diagonal are 0 and elements exist in only upper triangle, isn't it? So this type of matrix, or suppose another example 1 2 0 3. Now in this matrix also this is your diagonal and for this elements below the diagonal are 0 and elements exist in only upper triangle, therefore it is called as upper triangular matrix. So you will observe that these are the matrices in which elements exist in upper triangles only. You can observe the view, and therefore such matrices are called as upper triangular matrices. So therefore it is defined as a square matrix and every element below the diagonal, it is also called as principal diagonal or main diagonal, every element below the diagonal is 0. Then next example clears us the another type of matrix. Now suppose we considering 1 0 0 2 3 0 and 5 4 6. In this matrix you will observe that this is your main diagonal and all elements above the diagonal are now 0. Here also you will observe here 1 0 3 4 is there. So this is your principal diagonal and elements above principal diagonal are 0. So these are the matrices in which the effect is like this, elements exist in lower triangle only, and that's why such matrix is called as lower triangular matrix. So next type is lower triangular. Therefore the definition is it is a square matrix, all elements above the diagonal are 0. This way you can consider a square matrix which is becoming lower triangular or upper triangular. Then next we have to consider some basic operations on matrices in which we are going to consider addition, subtraction, transpose. So let us consider addition and subtraction. The addition and subtraction is possible only when matrices have same orders. So the most important condition is they must have same orders. So addition or subtraction, the corresponding elements, if they are added or if they are subtracted, then we get the resultant. So see with the example, suppose A is equal to 1 3 2 4 and B is equal to the matrix that consisting 2A C D. Then the matrix C contains 1 2 7 3 4 9. Now you will observe that the orders of the matrices are like this: A is 2 by 2, B is 2 by 2 and C is 2 by 3. So these two matrices are of the same order. Therefore addition or subtraction is possible for only these two matrices A and B, and C is not possible to consider for addition or subtraction with A or B. So only A and B can be added or subtracted. This way you can consider. Then see how the addition takes place. Suppose A is a matrix 1 3 2 4 plus B is a matrix 2A C D. Then we will observe that here 1 plus 2, then here 3 plus A, here 2 plus C, or here 4 plus D. This way the first position 1 1 position added to 1 1 position, then 1 2 position added to 1 2 position, 2 1 2 2 1 and 2 2 2 2 2. This way you can consider addition. So the resultant is 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So that becomes 3 other elements coming as it is, because we don't know actual values of A B C here or A C D here. Similarly, if you considering subtraction, then in this case also you will observe that 1 3 2 4 minus 2A C D. Then in this case also you will observe that 1 minus 2, 3 minus A, 2 minus C and 4 minus D. That is corresponding positions are subtracted here. Here you will observe that the 1th position is subtracted from 1 position, then 1/2 position, then 2/1 position subtracted, then 2/2 position subtracted, and therefore the resultant is 1 minus 2 is minus 1 and other elements remains as it is, because we don't know actual values of ACD. This way you can consider subtraction of two matrices. The next concept is transpose of a matrix. Transpose of a matrix A is denoted by A dash or A raised to T. And how it is taken? The trick is make elements of row as elements of column, that is R1 becomes C1, R2 becomes C2 and so on. Or you can consider its converse also, that is make elements of columns as elements of rows, that is also possible. So if A is a matrix of order m by n, then A transpose is a matrix of order n by m. Exactly reverse, number of rows becomes number of columns and number of columns becomes number of rows. Now with the example we get it clear. Suppose 1, 2, 3 that is R1, 4, 5, 6 that is R2. Then A transpose, here we will observe that the first row becomes a first column and second row becomes a second column. So R1 coming as C1 and R2 coming as C2. In this way you can consider. So first row green, that's coming as a first column, second row black, that coming as a second column. This way you can consider. Or you can also say that this 1, 4 first column appears as a first row, the second column 2, 5 that appears as a second row, the third column 3, 6 that appears as third row. This way you can consider transpose. We are going to consider some simple but important properties about transpose. Transpose of a transpose is original matrix. Transpose of a addition is equal to addition of transposes. Transpose of product is equal to product of transposes. This is called as reversal law. And the last thing, that is transpose of a scalar multiple of a matrix is equal to scalar multiple of transpose of A. Then next we have to consider the concept of matrices based on transposes. See, symmetric matrix. Consider the matrix A that consisting of 1, 2 and 2, 1. Then its transpose is, you will observe that the first column coming as a first row and the second column 2, 1 that coming as a second column. Now what we observe here, there is actually no change in this matrix and in this matrix. You will observe that 1, 2, 2, 1. Here also 1, 2, 2, 1. So what it clears? Here we will observe that due to transpose there is no change in the matrix, that is A transpose is equal to A. Such a type of matrix is called as symmetric matrix. So if transpose is equal to the matrix itself, then that is called as symmetric matrix. Similarly, we can consider next type, that is skew symmetric matrix. Consider matrix A that contains 0 minus k, k0. Then if you considering its transpose, here we have to consider this first row as a first column and the second row as a second column. That is, we will observe that here this first column coming as a first row and this second column coming as a second row. Now you will observe that there is slight change in a matrix. If you taking a minus sign common outside from this, then the matrix becomes 0 minus k. This minus minus actually plus k, that is adjusted here, and this is minus k that is appearing here. So minus sign if taken common, so you will observe that this matrix and this matrix is now same. So A transpose is equal to minus A, and in such a type of matrix we can say that it is a matrix of a skew symmetric type. And the speciality of this skew symmetric matrix is that its diagonal elements are always zeros. So diagonal elements of a skew symmetric matrix is always 0. Then state whether the given matrix is symmetric or skew symmetric. Suppose A has elements 1, 2, minus 5, 2, minus 3, 4, minus 5, 4, 9. So this is your diagonal, and to check whether it is symmetric or skew symmetric, you have to write its transpose. So consider A transpose. Now we have to consider the first column is coming as a first row, 1, 2, minus 5. Now the second column is coming as a second row and third column is coming as a third row. So you will observe that actually there is no change, 1, 2, minus 5, 1, 2, minus 5. Then 2, minus 3, 4, 2, minus 3, 4, minus 5, 4, 9, minus 5, 4, 9. So what we getting here? There is no change in A and A transpose, therefore A transpose is equal to A, therefore it is symmetric matrix. So A is a symmetric matrix. Next we can consider one simple application of this transpose, and that is very useful in JEE also. So we will represent any matrix using its transposes. So based on transpose we can represent any matrix A as a sum of symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. When you considering any matrix A, then A plus A transpose is always symmetric and A minus A transpose is always skew symmetric for any matrix, and therefore we will observe that this 1/2 A plus A transpose is a symmetric part, 1/2 A minus A transpose is a skew symmetric part of A. Here we have one example 1 2 3 4, then A transpose is 1 3 2 4, isn't it? First column as a first row, then second column as a second row, then A plus A transpose if you considering. So see what is the summation, 1 plus 1, it is 2, that is appearing here, then 2 plus 3, what's we getting, 5, that's appearing here, then 3 plus 2, again that is 5, that is appearing here, then 4 plus 4, that is 8, it's appearing here. So we will observe that A plus A transpose is a matrix such that here 5 and 5 coming here, this is your diagonal, so elements are placed symmetric about the diagonal, therefore it is symmetric. If we calling this as C, then what is C transpose? What is C transpose? You have to write the row as a column. So if you are writing first row as a first column or first column as a first row, then you are getting the same matrix. So C transpose is equal to C, therefore, so C transpose and C, they are same. Here you will observe C transpose and C, they are same, therefore this matrix is a symmetric matrix, and that is in this way. Similarly, you will observe that A minus A transpose if you considering, then that's becoming this type of matrix 0 0 minus 1 1. If we calling this as D, then D transpose is equal to 0 minus 1, first row coming as a first column, 1 0, that is second row coming as a second column, then we will observe that D transpose is equal to minus D, therefore D is a skew symmetric matrix. So 1/2 A minus A transpose is this matrix. This way you can consider second equation. Now 1 plus 2 if you considering, then you getting this, so you have to consider this type of addition. Now you will observe that 1 plus 0, it is 1, then 5 by 2 minus 1 by 2 is there, then 5 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is there, and 4 plus 0 is there. So you will observe that it is 1 2 3 4, which is nothing but our original matrix A. Previously we have seen that your original matrix given to you was nothing but A is equal to 1 2 3 4. This way you can observe that here whenever we considering any matrix, it is possible to represent as a A plus A transpose, A minus A transpose divided by 2, that gives original matrix A. This way you can consider representation of any matrix. And the next important concept is multiplication of matrix. Here suppose we considering two matrices, then when they are multiplicable, they are multiplicable if and only if number of columns in a first matrix equal to number of rows in second matrix. So therefore if A has order m by p, then the second matrix B must be the order p by something, say p by n, then only the product is defined, and we will observe that the resultant matrix is of order m by n. So here number of columns in first matrix, equal to number of rows in second matrix, that's why product AB is defined, and that multiplication is possible, and AB will be of the order m by n, that is these two values gives us the order of the resultant matrix m by n. Now let us try for BA. Is it possible? Let us see. So BA, in BA first matrix is B and its order is p by n, that we have seen it previously. B is a matrix of order p by n and A is a matrix of order m by n. So B has order p by n and A has order m by p. Now whether number of columns in first equal to number of rows in second? No. Therefore it is clear that BA is not possible, and therefore for matrix multiplication AB may or may not be equal to BA. Here we have seen that AB defined but BA itself is not defined. Sometimes they both define but may not be of the same orders. Sometimes they both define, they may be of the same order but still their elements are distinct. But sometimes only they are defined, their orders are equal, their elements are equal, and in that case only the commutativity holds, but in general commutativity doesn't holds, but matrix multiplication is always associative. So in multiplication, always consider rows of the first and columns from second matrix. See, with the example we get it clear how the multiplication takes place. Suppose A is a matrix 2 3 4 1 2 1 and B is a matrix that is 1 2 3 minus 1 and 1 0. What is order of A? There are 2 rows and 3 columns, so its order is 2 by 3. What is order of B? There are 3 rows and 2 columns, therefore it's 3 by 2. So number of columns in first equal to number of rows in second, therefore product is defined, and the resultant is of order 2 by 2, that is number of rows in first into number of columns in second. So therefore number of columns in A is equal to number of rows in B, therefore AB is possible and order of AB is 2 by 2. So let us see how the multiplication takes place. So your first matrix is 2 3 4 1 2 1 and the second matrix is 1 2 3 minus 1 and 1 0. Now we have to consider the multiplication of these two matrices. We have just seen that it is matrix of order 2 by 2, so we calling A11, A12, A21 and A22. Now see how this element takes place. So when you considering the element in first row and first column, then to obtain that you have to consider first row here and first column here, you will observe. So for A11, first row of first matrix and first column 1 of second matrix, that is you have to consider this way. See here, first row from first matrix and column 1 from second matrix, that will gives you this element A11. Similarly, if you considering therefore the product, so you will observe that this 2 into 1 plus 3 into 3 plus 4 into 1, so that is coming here. Similarly, if you want to consider this second element A12, so for that we have to consider first row here and second column here, you will observe that. So A12, that is obtained by first row of first matrix and second column of second matrix, that is we have to consider this combination. So actually you have to consider this 2 into 2, then 3 into minus 1 and 4 into 0. Similarly, if you want to obtain this, then to obtain this element, what to do? We have to consider now second row here and first column here. See how that is possible. So you want to obtain A21. So second row from first matrix and column 1 from second matrix, and that will give you these types of elements: 1 into 1, then 2 into 3 and 1 into 1. This way you can consider. Okay, so this is the way of considering, and definitely at last you have to consider the second row and second column combination for the last element. So second row from second and second column from second, that is this combination will give you the last element, and therefore you have the resultant elements 15 here. You will observe that this is 15, this is 1, then what is this element? It is 8, and what is the last element? It is 0, because 2 minus 2, that becomes 0, and here 0 already. This way you can consider multiplications of matrices. If you considering A equal to the matrix 2 3 4 and 1 2 1, B equal to the matrix 1 2 3 minus 1 and 1 0, then for BA, order of B is 3 by 2, therefore order of A is 2 by 3, and number of columns again equal to number of rows here. Number of columns in first matrix B equal to number of rows in second matrix A, and therefore their product is possible. The resultant matrix is matrix of order 3 by 3. So if we want to find BA, that is possible, and the BA matrix is matrix of order 3 by 3, that will be obtained in this way: A11, A12 and so on. Now see actually how it works. Suppose you have B and A matrices, then to obtain A11, you have to consider first row, first column combination in this way. Similarly, next element, first row and second column combination, that is this way, 1 into 3 and 2 into 2. This combination you have to consider. Then next you have to consider first row, third column. Next you have to consider second row, first column. Then second row, second column. Then second row and third column. Again, next we have to consider last row, first column. Last row, second column. Last row and last column. This way you will get the resultant matrix, and the resultant matrix is of this type. Here 2 plus 2, that is 4. Here 3 plus 4, that is 7. In this way you will get 3 by 3 matrix as a resultant. This is something about revision about 11th, and further to this we have to actually start the syllabus of 12th, and that starts with elementary transformations or operations, which helps us to find inverse of a matrix, and inverse of a matrix is possible to find with the help of another method also, adjoint method, and those two methods are used to find inverse, which helps us to find solutions of systems of linear equations, and that is actually the main application of matrix. So here we stopping for today. Next time we will learn the concept of elementary transformations and operations and their applications. Thank you very much.